What if I told you that some of your daily habits, the ones you don't even think twice about, are secretly making your brain grow slower? It's not about getting older or some rare disease. Psychology is showing us that tiny, everyday routines could be limiting your brain's potential, and you might not even feel it happening. You ever have that feeling of mental fog, like your brain is just constantly buffering? You probably reach for your phone to look something up, to stay connected, to feel sharp. But what if that same little device is actually training you to forget? Psychologists actually have a term for this. It's called cognitive offloading. Basically, it's like outsourcing your brain's work. And yeah, it's super convenient, right? But here's the catch. Every single time you let your phone remember a number or find directions for you, you're sending a little message to your brain that says, hey, you're not needed for this job. And you know what? Your brain listens. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Your brain isn't some fixed, static thing. It's more like a piece of software that's constantly being updated based on your actions. This is called neuroplasticity. The amazing part, you are the programmer. The scary part, most of us are accidentally writing code that makes our brains slower and way more distracted. So let's get into it. We're gonna expose these 5 brain-shrinking habits and figure out how we can start fighting back, like right now. All right, first up is the one we're all a little guilty of, the endless scroll. That constant flick and flick and flick through social media. You think you're just killing time, but what you're really doing is training your brain to need a new little hit of dopamine every single second. This leads to something called attention fragmentation. Your brain gets so used to these tiny, bite-sized pieces of information that it starts to actually reject anything that requires deep, sustained thought. Have you ever tried to read a book lately and found your thumb just twitching, looking for something to swipe? Yep, that's your brain literally rewired for distraction. Okay, habit number 2, always taking the path of least resistance. Just think about it for a second. When was the last time you really truly struggled with a question before you just instantly Google the answer? See that struggle? That's the workout for your brain. Every time you push through a tough problem, you are literally building new, stronger connections between your neurons. So when you constantly skip brain day at the gym, is it really a surprise that deep thinking starts to feel absolutely exhausting? Next up is the big one, the myth we all want to believe in, multitasking. Oh, you feel so productive, right? Juggling emails, a phone call, and 3 other things at once. But neuroscience has a reality check for you. It's basically a lie. Your brain isn't actually doing multiple things at once. It's just switching between them incredibly fast. And every single switch costs you mental energy. It's like a tax on your focus. So not only are you less efficient, you're actually training your brain to be permanently distracted, even when you're trying to focus on just one thing. Which leads us perfectly into habit number 4, and this is a huge one, relying way too much on technology. This is that cognitive offloading thing, but on steroids. Think about it. Your phone has become your external brain, right? It holds all the birthdays, the directions, random facts. Your actual brain sees this and basically thinks, oh great, I can take a vacation. And so it stops putting in the effort to actually encode that information. Slowly but surely, your own internal memory starts to get weaker from disuse. It's simple. Use it or lose it. And finally, we have the habit that pretty much sabotages everything else, skipping out on brain maintenance. We tend to treat sleep like it's a luxury, something we can cut back on. But for your brain, sleep is the absolutely critical, non-negotiable nightly cleanup crew. While you're sleeping, this incredible thing called the glymphatic system gets to work. Just picture it like a power washing crew for your brain, flushing out all the toxic junk and waste that builds up between your neurons during the day. If you skip that cleaning cycle, you're basically waking up and trying to think clearly in a brain that's still cluttered with yesterday's garbage. Okay, so if all of that sounded a little bit terrifying, just take a deep breath, because here is the single most important and hopeful idea in all of neuroscience. Your brain is not static. It can change. That whole neuroplasticity thing means you are not stuck. You can start rewiring your brain for the better, and you can literally start today. So how do you even start? Look, don't try to change everything overnight. Just pick one small act of mental resistance. Read one chapter of a physical book with your phone in another room. Try to navigate to a new coffee shop from memory. Do one hard puzzle. Just one tiny thing to remind your brain what it feels like to actually work. So I'm genuinely curious, which of these 5 habits really hit home for you? And maybe more importantly, what's the one small brain workout you're gonna commit to doing this week? Let me know down in the comments. We can all hold each other accountable. Stay curious and never ever stop training your mind.